Hello YouTube, RJ. Got something new on the bench. Was at my local ham meeting the other night. One of our members brought this radio in a box, and he said anybody wanted it could have it. He said it doesn't transmit, and he told a story. He bought it brand new. It's been out of the box, hooked up. He just got back in the ham, put a new antenna up, put the radio, bought the radio, plugged it in, was receiving, keyed up, wouldn't put anything out, thought something was defective with this, went and picked up another one, plugged it in, did the same thing, figured out that he believes he had shorted coax. He believes he blew the finals out of it. So he says it receives great, no power for transmit. So I said, sure, I'll take it. I'll put it on the bench. We'll see if we can get it working. So what we do is open up, see what we got. According to him, it's like brand spanking new, like literally been out of the box and hooked up one time, other than, of course, something being wrong with it. So, well, everything looks good. Everything's wrapped. And the mic looks like brand new. Power cords are all wrapped up. Got some mounting screws and spare fuses and such. Looks like we've got our manuals with it. Let's get the radio out and see what it looks like. There's the bracket. And we'll just put this stuff back in here. And we'll get this out of the plastic. And it absolutely looks brand spanking new. There's not a scratch on it anywhere. I'm going to rig up what we need to power this thing up, an antenna, and see that it does receive. Then I'll go ahead and set up the bench for testing for transmission. We'll see if what we get when we try to transmit with it, and then we'll go from there. Give me a moment to get everything set up. I'll be back. Okay, I've got it hooked up just to do a receive test, make sure it does indeed receive. I've got a little magnetic antenna stuck up over here on the counter. I've got the power supply, one of my power supplies hooked up powering it. I've got it on. I've tuned it into the weather broadcast local. And now the extended forecast for the radio listening area. So definitely receives. So I guess now what I need to do, I'm gonna turn the power off. I need to get set up on the bench and test to see if it's putting any power out. All right, I've got it hooked up to the dummy load and the watt meter, and I can verify that we are set to transmit. Hello, test, test. We are getting no power whatsoever out of this unit. Test, test. It shows that we are, hello. It's indicating it's in transmit and that power is being transmitted, but I'm getting absolutely nothing out of the radio. So he is absolutely correct that we do not have anything coming out of this radio. So at this point, it's time for us to crack this puppy open and see what we can see. So, okay, it appears that there's a number of screws here. There's 2 on each side, here, and 4 on top. So I'm going to go ahead and crack into those. I've got the power off, and let me grab my little tray out here, and we'll open this up. I'll get the top off. I'll be right back. Okay, I was able to get into it. One thing, I showed you the screws for the top. It turns out there's some Allen screws here. Make sure you can see what I'm looking at. Gotta pull the knob off, tuning knob off here, or just pull straight out to get to this one. You have to back these out so this comes loose because the top fits up in there. So that gets it off. At least in this one, it might have just been kind of stuck to it, but once I popped that off, it was easy going. Once I lifted the top off, I can unplug the speaker here very easily. But as soon as I pulled the top off, you probably already can see. If you look on the speaker right here, you might see some charred material. And if you look down here, you can see the remnants of the preamp chip. So let me do this. I'm going to grab the microscope, get you a really good look of that. So give me just a second to do that. Okay, so there you go. There's the image of, I'll try to get moved a little better and stop shaking so much. There's an image of what's left of the RF preamp. This is the amp that amps the wattage up to, I think I saw 3 watts. I've got the service manual, very good service manual on this radio from Icon. You get about 3 watts out of this, up to 3 watts, that then provides the power to the actual main finals, which you can't see over here. These screws right here, let me pull this little speaker holder out. These screws right here hold you can see the vias around it, lots of big vias. Let me get out a little bit where you can see a little better. Sorry about moving the camera on you all the time, but you see the two screws and you can see all the vias around it. Between these two screws is another IC dual transistor, MOSFET transistor package under here that does the main power. You know, we don't know if it's okay, but we sure know that this isn't okay. So that's for definite, has to be replaced. Gonna have to clean up in here and see what else. It charred up a lot of stuff here. Gonna have to see what else here may need to be replaced. But the question I have is this main package intact? Are we okay there, or is it blown up? I think we're probably going to have to dig in a little deeper before we turn around and just order this preamp over here and these parts. Because if that's damaged, now you're getting into more and more money to the point it may not be worth repairing this little radio. So let me take a look at getting this board out, and I'll be back. It does require you over here on the connector, and I'll bring it up in the microscope. This RF connector right here requires you to desolder it from the board to get the board out. So that's one thing we have to do. Let me take a break, come back, look at getting this board out. We'll take a look at the other side of the board, see what we see there, and make a determination whether we want to move ahead on fixing this or not. And if so, then I'm gonna have to research getting these parts, what they're gonna cost, and how long it's gonna take. So I'll take a quick break, be back. Okay, I got the board out, just took the screws out, I desoldered the RF connector, and I cleaned this up some to see what we're dealing with, and we're dealing with some issues here. This little piece, if you can see, bring it up just a little bit for you without getting too close, but if you look right here, there's a little piece of something. That's a trace from this resistor to this transistor. This is your preamp for the RF final. It's blown the trace off the board, so I've obviously got some work to do there if I want to fix this. So I was wondering about what do we look like on the back side. We look pretty good. I don't see any damage on the back side. Now, one concern is, of course, the final transistors here. This is a dual pack MOSFET, in-channel MOSFET package. And so I want to check that before we go any farther. And some of you might ask, well, how do you do that? Different people do it different way. If you search on the internet, you're going to come up with a whole bunch of different answers. Use the diode check on your meter, do this, do that. I'm going to show you the way I like to do it. It's very, very easy. I use the diode check, but I don't just use the diode check, because a lot of people are going to tell you, put it on diode check, put your negative on the source, which is here, put your positive on the drain, which is here. Give a meter over where you can see it better. And you should have an open. Well, that's true. And then they'll tell you, well, to check to see if the transistor turns on, go to the gate and put the positive for a moment, come over and attach and see if you've got a short. Well, depends on the transistor. Some of them it won't keep triggering. Reliable way to know every time what you're looking at. You can get fooled that way. So let me show you how I do it where it can't fool me. Take your bench power supply and set it to 3 volts. That's what I like to use. DC, 3 volts. Set your current limit to like 100 milliamps, no more. Hook the negative of your power supply to your negative probe of your meter. You're still on diode. And the positive connect to another probe of some type that you can touch to the gate. And what we're going to do is, here's how we test it. We go in to the source and the drain like before, and we should be open, okay? So we get these on and we leave them connected, okay? Take your positive now and apply your 3 volts to the gate, and it should go open if it's good. That's a good transistor, okay? Now, there's 2 in this package, so we've got to test both of them. So we're going to flop our probes around because they're mirrored to each other. And you've got an open there. I'm going to touch the gate. Get to where I can get on things good. The only thing is you need 3 hands, but that's Most of electronics that is that way. Get this out here where it won't touch. Okay, there I've got my open, and now I'm a dead short when I put 3 volts on the gate. So to me, I can be pretty confident that that RF output transistors are good. So our finals didn't blow, the preamp for the finals blew. So with that being the case, turn off my power supply. Looks like to me I need to get online, do some research on where I can get this, how much, see if it's worth even fiddling with. Got a couple of resistors here I think I probably better change. Not sure whether the traces are good there. I'll have to get this off the board to really get a good look. But first, let me go see if I can get this transistor and how much it is, whether it's worth even monkeying with for this inexpensive 2-meter radio. And, bear in mind, I know I've got traces damaged here. So we're going to be doing a little bit of fixing there. So you might wonder, how did I know what was what on this transistor? Okay. I'm going to pop up the schematic because I went and pulled the service manual from ICOM, went to the schematic, and it's on the schematic. So I'll pop it up here where you can see it. And you can clearly see in their schematic, it shows you the transistors and how they're in the package. So that's how I knew. Let me research this, and I'll make a decision on whether I want to order parts or not. And if I do, I'll come back in a video later once I get the parts in, and we'll try to fix this. Thanks for hanging out with me while we try to diagnose this problem. I appreciate a like if you'd hit it. And if you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe. And most of all, make sure I see you in the next video.